In urban areas, there are few refuges for small animals. We seem determined to control and clean up every scrap of city space. For a few months in summer, patches of grass get ahead of the mower men, and a whole long grass community thrives in this microcosm urban jungle. Here, along this small stretch of Kedron Brook and adjacent green spaces in Brisbane, we take a brief dive into that world, dominated by that hugely important but underrated group, the invertebrates. One's attention is first caught by that showy order, the Lepidoptera, as evening browns, darts and skippers flurry up and then disappear under the long leaves, using the broad blades to hide from predators and the weather. In this montage, from top left clockwise, we have the meadow argus, a timber moth, a yellow palm dart, a skipper, a dingy grass skipper, and a spotted skipper. The boldly patterned narrow-banded grass dart. The spotted grass blue sits quietly, while others like the checkered swallowtail flaunt their colours. Drawn in to follow the butterflies, one's eyes adjust to the scale and closeness, and the next to become evident are the flies, or the diptera. We spend a lot of time and ingenuity trying to kill them, but they all, like this large green bottle, have their place in the scheme of things. Some are very familiar to us, like the common bush fly in his stripy waistcoat. This is the superbly shiny small green fly, and the gaudy orange loxonaid fly. Hoverflies are a colourful family, from this small red slender to the wasp mimicking orange banded. It turns out that hoverflies are also important pollinators, a worthy backup as bees decline. A black-headed hoverfly visits a flatweed flower. This small slender hoverfly is not so slender here, likely full of eggs. Ah, there we go, looking a bit more slender now. Possibly my favourites are the green, long-legged flies, speedy little jewels of colour. This is the tiny blue-green long-legged fly compared to the sturdy common Lygra bee fly, the wasp mimicking marsh fly. Legs start to get longer with the stilt fly, and then the ungainly crystal wing crane fly, and longer still on the tiger crane fly. And signing out with another wasp mimic, the banded wing, long-palped crane fly. Other little spots of colour appear, the wonderfully named coccinellidae or ladybirds, from the common spotted to the three-banded to the Micraspis linoleum with no common name. And finally, the handsome little striped ladybird. This, however, is a leaf beetle, as is this spiny little fellow. There is a wide range of plainer beetles too, scouts from the vast order Coleoptera, with over 100 families in Australia. This is the black darkling beetle, and this handsome little fellow is a white acacia leaf beetle. Ah! Stuck on this darned grass head! Ah! On the move again. With some exotic shapes and colours, the bug family, Hemiptera, generally suck juices, and many are quite noisy. This little third instar of the eucalyptus tipwilter is indicative of how a transitional form can be very different from the adult. Here a picture by Peter Chu. This fourth instar gumtree shieldbug looks a bit like some secret coda, with another adult picture by Peter Chu. The zebra gumtree shieldbug. paddy bug are so common in the grass, you'd think somebody would be feasting on them, but it turns out that their young are the ones that get preyed on. Their colour can be quite varied. This little bullet-shaped chap is a plant hopper. In the oddly assembled earwig, the pincers both defend and capture, but do not go anywhere near your ears. When threatened, they either freeze or drop to the ground, but some don't make it. This snappy little chap is a cockroach nymph. In fact, what you call a cockroach in this instance is the austral ellipsidian, and this is the see-through ellipsidian. You'd imagine in grass there'd be plenty of grasshoppers, but relatively few are evident. This is the creek grasshopper, and this is a young rice grasshopper, with the adults to follow. Their cousins, the crickets and katydids, also appear. This is a silent leaf-runner cricket and a sturdy red and black species. The katydids must have been hard to name. This is the male blackish meadow katydid and his female. This is the greenish meadow katydid, and finally the reddish meadow katydid, waving around its incredibly long antennae in the breeze. Family Hymenoptera, or clearwing, includes wasps, bees and ants. This is the small golden-tailed sugar ant and the smaller black valentine ant, here nesting in a grassleaf joint. Some wasps look ant-like. This small black flower wasp has the female attached below in their rather odd extended mating ritual. The golden digger wasp is a handsome little animal tending their young in the ground. Among the many hundreds of local species are also the flower, spider, parasitic, mud dormer and paper wasps, one of the few social groups. All are important for pollination and control of other species. The female orchid dupe wasp has an intimidating ovipositor, and this is the rather attractive banded pupa parasite wasp. And we say farewell to the familiar blue-banded bee, sleepy on a cool morning. Transiting to the showy arachnids, this is an ant-mimic spider. Broadly speaking, spiders are the hunters and jumpers, or the various web users. This is a male green jumping spider lying in wait for smaller prey. The jumpers are a huge group of tiny hunters. This is the pale jumping spider, and this furry jumper all have excellent eyesight. Many, like this shaggy househopper, have eyes all around a turret head. Here we watch a white garland househopper carefully gathering dew into a substantial drop under its abdomen. Common in the grasses around Shaw Park is the super spiky common lynx spider, here guarding her egg sac and having a meal. The web spinners can do elegant hammocks or superbly engineered tents. Messy webs betray the common brown house spider, who can still haul in large prey like this robber fly, as can the St. Andrew's cross spider, here snared a female blue skimmer. This is a bush orb weaver, a greenish orb weaver, and an orange orb weaver. The silver orb spider leaves a central opening in her web, here carefully wrapping her prey. amongst all the antennae and spikes move the slower snails and semi-slugs. This one is the iridescent semi-slug. The Asian tramp snail at rest and on the move. Vertebrates intrude. As grass heads mature, chestnut-breasted manakins are lured up from the gateway flats into the suburbs. A banded rail with young in Kalinga Park, and a file snake consumes a cane toad, the only animal known to be able to survive this. Back to the larger insect hunters. First, a false garden mantid, and this is the Mantis oothica, or egg casing. The floppy-looking, blue-eyed lacewing, the delicate pygmy wisp damselfly, a female blue river damsel, and an aurora blue-tailed damselfly. A common flat-winged damselfly munches on lunch. On to the strong-flying dragonflies. Here a pair of twin-spot hunters take a break while locked in their mating ritual. Through a range of colours and sizes, all dragonflies are keen hunters. This is a male wandering percher, and this is the aptly named tiger tail, and another hunter resting between sorties. A yellow emperor and the slightly furry Australian emperor. A sturdy blue skimmer warms up in the morning sunshine. And fades back into the habitat. As the cooler winds of autumn come bullying in, many of these perimeter strips of grass are cut down again. If we were half as diligent about caring as we are about clearing, perhaps things might be a whole lot better. The last little bit of habitat is slashed, almost to the brink of the creek. Some species can move to other habitat, but the grass specialists have to make the best of it and wait for the growing season to return. So when you're next passing a patch of tall grass, stop for a minute and see how many of these amazing little creatures who live among us you can spot.